Welcome to the 2026 Medicare Crisis Series. I'm Matt Ferret, and after decades inside Medicare's trenches, I'll tell you what Medicare won't. In this series, I'm unpacking the biggest Medicare shakeups around Advantage, Part D, and supplements, and showing you how to survive them. In every service area reduction letter, that's when Medicare Advantage or standalone Medicare Part D carriers just pull out of counties and leave people without their plan. In every annual election period notice, that's the short window each fall from October 15th to December 7th when you can change your coverage. And in every agent disclaimer, you'll see the same so-called safety nets. Call 1-800-MEDICARE, go to Medicare.gov, or contact your local SHIP office. It sounds reassuring, right? Free, unbiased help. But here's the insider truth. Those safety nets aren't really nets at all. Tell me in the comments, have you ever called 1-800-MEDICARE or reached out to SHIP? How long did you wait on hold? Did you actually get the answer to the problem you had? Here's what's really going on. SHIP counselors. I've met some, trained some, and even answered emails from others. They're nice people, and they do mean well. But they're volunteers, not licensed insurance agents. They don't go through the same rigorous training or testing agents do every year. Some know their stuff, but many don't, and you can't count on consistency. 1-800-MEDICARE. You know that isn't really just Medicare. Most calls are routed to contracted call centers staffed by reps following scripts. They don't know your local provider networks. They're not building relationships. Wait times. Some people on Medicare report 30-minute, 45, even 60 minutes on hold, only to be transferred or told to call back. Accountability. If you get bad advice, there's no agent of record. There's no insurance license to pull. No accountability. You're just stuck. It's kind of like calling your cable company. You might get lucky, or you might get bounced around 6 times before giving up. And I'm not the only one saying this. A Government Accountability Office report from July 2019 found that nearly 3/4 of SHIP directors said it's difficult or very difficult for people to navigate Medicare's own Plan Finder tool. And that includes SHIP counselors themselves. A JAMA Network open study published in 2025 tested 131 SHIP websites with mystery shoppers. Nearly 40% of calls and emails never got a response. And when they did, the answers were accurate only about 40% of the time, dropping to 26% when asked about something as basic as whether a doctor was in network. Another analysis found that less than 10% of Medicare beneficiaries ever use SHIP, even though roughly 30% shop plans every year. So when official letters tell you to rely on these safety nets, it's more illusion than protection. Drop a comment. Have you ever gotten 3 different answers from SHIP, 1-800-MEDICARE, and an insurance agent? Which one turned out to be right? So why does this matter so much this year? Because 2026 is a perfect storm. Millions of people are losing their Medicare Advantage plans through service area reductions. Standalone drug plans are raising premiums and deductibles. And more people than ever will be told, just call 1-800-MEDICARE or SHIP. But these systems aren't built to handle the flood, which means more confusion, longer waits, and more people making decisions with incomplete information. All right, so if SHIP and 1-800-MEDICARE aren't the safety nets they're made out to be, what should you do instead? Well, number one, treat SHIP as a backup, not your front line. If you get a quick answer, great, but don't stop there. Double check everything. Number two, don't rely on 1-800-MEDICARE for local answers. They don't know your county's plans, your doctor networks, or your pharmacies. Number three, document everything. If you do call, write down who you talked to and what they said. If you need to challenge something later, you'll need record of it. Number four, my advice, work with a licensed independent Medicare insurance agent. They're trained, licensed, accountable, and they know the local carriers. Number five, educate yourself. That's why I do this series, write guides, run prepareformedicare.com to give you the insider view that Medicare disclaimers don't. Another one for the comments, how long have you ever waited on hold at 1-800-MEDICARE? Drop the hold time number. Let's see who's had the longest wait. If you don't want to get caught in the confusion this fall, join my free newsletter at prepareformedicare.com. That's where I share insider updates, strategies, and what's really happening in Medicare before it hits the news. And while you're here, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this 2026 Medicare Crisis series. Share this with a friend or a family member, especially someone turning 65 this year, so they don't end up wasting hours on hold. This was part 4 of my 2026 Medicare Crisis series. Check out the playlist below for earlier episodes and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you want personalized help, my wife Nikki and her team of licensed agents at brickhouseagency.com offer free, no-obligation consultations. I'm Matt Ferret. Here's to your wealth, wisdom, and wellness. And trust me, this won't be the last Medicare shakeup.